Your Worship, Mayoral Brown, our distinguished guests, fellow international students, and Atato Katoa. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Arla Fontamillas, and I am from the Philippines. And it's a huge honor for me to share with you my experience as an international tertiary student here in Wellington. I handed in my thesis exactly 10 days ago. To complete the requirements for the program Master of Development Studies at Victoria University of Wellington. I still do not believe that 2 years has already gone by. Indeed, time flies so fast if you're enjoying what you're doing. I arrived in Wellington on January 27, 2013 with a myriad of emotions ranging from excitement to fear of the unknown. After 6 years of being in the working class, I would finally be going back to school. I knew I needed to stop and reflect on what I was doing back home so that I could see clearly the vision I have for myself and for my country. And I'm so pleased that Wellington is the perfect place to do that. Honestly, I was rooting for a university in Auckland because I thought, just like what probably most of us do, it is the capital of New Zealand. Oops. Plus, I have a cousin there, so I reckon it would be easier for me if I would know someone before moving to a foreign place. I was applying for scholarship then, which was already close to the deadline, and Providence has it that Vic Uni was the first one to respond among the universities I sent my application to. They also gave me a better offer of study. Looking back now, I thank God for bringing me here instead. It was summer when I first came here to Wellington 2 years ago. The sun was up, reflecting its golden rays on the buildings, particularly the old ones. What caught my attention was the old bank in Willis Street, and other vintage edifices that gloriously stand against the modern ones. It was a bit busy that time as people were getting off from work. They were mostly dressed in suits and business clothes, which were generally gray and black, gray and black, gray and black. I quickly noticed that pedestrian activity is very live here with so many people walking. The guy from Great International who picked me up from the airport told us that we came on a very good warm day. Coming from a tropical country where the average temperature is 32 degrees Celsius, I thought he was kidding. It was cold. The wind was cold. Later, once I got past winter, I realized that he was right. By the time I was settled in my room in the residence hall along the terrace, it was already 4:30. I was setting up my laptop to Skype with my parents to tell them I'm fine when I noticed a foreign-looking electric socket. I was running out of battery, so I asked the people at the residence hall where I can get an adapter. When I went to town, I was surprised to see most shops were starting to close, and it was just 4:30 in the afternoon. Fortunately, the city is so compact, it didn't take me long to find an electronics shop that was still open. I was also worried that I might not be able to buy food as well, so I ended up in a nearby dairy. That was the first TV slam I learned here. Again, I later learned that supermarkets are open until 10 or 11 p.m. Sweet ass. After having my cheese toast and Skype call with my parents, I was ready to go to sleep. It was almost 9 p.m., but the sun was still not ready to set. Hello, jet lag. Hello, Southern Hemisphere. New Zealand is 5,000 miles away from the Philippines. I had never been this far from home, and I was never away for more than 3 months. So the thought of staying in a place far away, Middle Earth, if you may, for 2 years actually did scare me. However, looking back now, I cannot imagine myself doing a postgraduate degree anywhere else. And I'm not saying that because the little mayor is here. Wellington is a highly diverse, highly multicultural city. The fact that it's the capital, embassies and high commission offices of various countries in the world are located here. I didn't know anyone at all in Wellington, so I thought that the most sensible thing to do was to go to my country's embassy office. I was welcomed warmly, not only by the Philippine embassy staff, but I was even able to have an audience with the Philippine ambassador. From her, I was introduced to the wider Filipino community by participating in various events in the city. In fact, 2 years ago, I represented the Philippines during the Southeast Asian Night Market. And tonight and tomorrow night, if you're free, and shame plugging, I will again be representing the Philippines in the cultural performances down there in Alden's Plaza. Talk about going full circle. And I believe that active involvement helped me to adapt into a new culture with ease. Your first few weeks are crucial as they will define your routine here. I found that the best way to overcome or conquer homesickness is to be it first before it meets you. So I went out a lot and met other Filipinos, some of whom have been here for the last 30 years. It was through the shared cultural lesson that got me acquainted with the Wellington life. However, what made my stay here more meaningful and richer was my interaction with people from different ethnicities and backgrounds. Wellington is the perfect place for an intellectual wanderer like me. People are open to ideas, no matter how odd they are. You can just imagine what topics we talk on our all-nighters with my friends in the university. Going down Cuba Street alone was an enlightening tour of a dramatic explosion of uninhibited opportunity for collective self-expression. It's really interesting to see how cultures thrive and complement each other in such a small space. Interestingly, this exposure to different cultures and ideas has allowed me all the more to have a deeper awareness of myself as a learner. By being presented with countless pathways for you to design your learning, Victoria University of Wellington has pushed me to plan and identify my academic and life goals. For the more mature learners here, you ask yourself, what do I want to achieve by the end of the year or by the end of this degree? You have the freedom to choose, with the guidance of your faculty, of course, what papers you can take based on your reasons for going to the university and the career path that you plan to take. I also found the learning system to be very supportive. There are heaps of services and support groups at the university. English skills, and one to the express availability of your course supervisors if you need to talk to them about a particular topic or field of interest. One valuable thing I learned, do not be afraid to try to ask. The library and its wide access, especially to online resources, books, academic journals, videos, photos, was such a big factor in the success of my thesis and study in general. The layout of the library at Uni had the students' needs in mind: the couches, the location of the electric sockets, the green and blue zones, which means group study and individual study respectively. Finally, there are areas in the library that allows you to talk to your classmates without the librarian telling you off. That's awesome. The respect for your judgment as a learner is also something that I appreciate here. Your ideas are acknowledged and they treat you as an expert of your field. To a certain extent, that may also apply even to undergraduate students and to our college students as well. There's a good level of independence expected of you as a learner. They don't impose values on information. Instead, they trust that your judgment was a product of your critical and creative thinking. I can say that I have more maturity in negotiating the various ideas and realities presented to me. And that was not achieved just by hitting the books and isolating myself from everything. In fact, to say it more radically, Wellington for me is a big university. It is in those small talks over coffee, lunches, dinners, or walks along the way outside the physical universities that great and grand ideas are created and realized. The simple hanging out with university colleagues from different parts of the world over a few drinks or a good pizza were among the golden moments of my postgraduate journey. Because really, student life is never meant to be lived alone. As a relatively small city, Wellington allows people to be connected. Coming from a fast-paced and oftentimes stressful city, the relaxed and cool disposition of my Kiwi colleagues has helped me to stop when I needed to. Their down-to-earth lifestyle has allowed me to unclutter my head and my heart of the unnecessary things that were imposed to me as a result of living in a cosmopolitan environment. To be real and to be unashamed. To be able to express yourself freely, not to be afraid, but instead responsible of the consequences of your actions. To have the liberty to stop when you needed to, because going to the beach and going for a walk are all part of a holistic life for a learner. Those are the things I'm going to really miss about living and studying in Wellington. I wish to give you tips on what made my study here a success, whatever that means, but I also learned that in this place there are no paths. You make your own path. So go out there, explore, and stretch your boundaries, where it be that physically, emotionally, socially, and intellectually. This is indeed a place of possible. And I'm thankful to God for bringing me here to study in London. I have once again become free to dream. And that is all I ever wanted to be as I go back to the Philippines. And I wish the same for my people and for you as well, my fellow learners. Maraming salamat, Wellington. Thank you, and kia ora.